start with this little.
It
I don't
reminds
know
me
why.
of when I say the minions.
I'm a minion. Welcome to High Heels Happy Hour, and I'm Minion Christina.
And I am minion number 507.
I think you
Ingrid.
need to be a little closer to the
Closer?
mic.
Okay.
Ingrid. Yes.
Closer. Go.
Yeah, so we were just chatting and having fun, as we always do here before we start. And then we forget that we hit the record button, and then all of a sudden, boom. So, how was your week?
My week is great. Same thing. I think we're in about a month into school, almost. Nothing eventful.
Good.
Easy peasy. The spa is picking back up.
Awesome.
So everyone's kind of gotten the whole shaken
Back
up
to-
of back to school reality and
Back to adulting,
yeah,
back to taking care of ourselves.
yeah. So can't complain.
Yeah.
How about you?
It's been good. Been good. I have had a lot of fun. Oh, that's what happens when you don't turn your phone off when we record.
Oh,
Yes. That was interesting.
Well.
Say there's one in all families. No, but what I'm saying is I have a lot of fun with new, since I now eat meat and fish. I've had some fish and chicken, which I love. I'm exploring a lot of new recipes. So I'm just cooking up a storm.
I'm having a little bit of a hard time
Yeah, no.
for you to say chicken
Yeah.
and love in the same
Yeah.
sentence.
Wow. Yeah, and tonight the kids. One of my kids' favorite thing is gravlax, which by the word grav is Swedish. Just so you know, it's one of our gifts to the world, and that I cannot even see myself eat. So then I'll have chicken instead. But I'm working my way through the meats and the fishes.
Yeah,
and
you're doing pretty good.
I noticed I do not like seafood at all. Never did when 34 years ago either. But no, that's I don't see that happening.
Okay.
Who knows? But I'm having fun cooking. So, do we have a hack?
So my hack is
A cooking hack.
a cooking hack.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, because usually I'm one to cook super fast and I'm not too fancy. Is herbs. If you want them to last a little longer, you put them in the freezer.
That's, you know what? Because I don't know how many times I throw out.
Well, I used to throw out a bunch because
I need to do that. I have some dill and mint in the fridge right now that after this will go and freeze.
There you go. You're welcome.
And you can just put on the Ziploc bag. I heard people too. They put them in the ice cube trays and then put the water in and freeze them. You could do that.
So I do that with when I make sofrito, which is like a blend of herbs.
Yeah.
For like soups and rice. You put an ice cube, and then you just take an ice cube of it.
So how do you make the blend?
With cilantro, peppers, onions, cilantro, onions.
I have not tried sofrito.
No. Okay. Well then.
Okay. Will. That's what I will do this week. So next week I'll say I made sofrito. Okay, fun. All right, so I don't have a specific hack because this entire episode is going to be full of my fun fall fitness hacks.
Man, pen ready, or you're going to have to replay this a couple times? Yes,
so it's all hacks. So I figured it's just kind of crazy if I would come up with an additional one. So yes, again, you or audience voted, and fitness health is something that more people want to hear us talk more about. And of course, that's right up my alley since I am the resident fitness trainer here in the group. But I'm not a medical doctor or a licensed personal trainer. So all of these tips are coming from the heart and things that I enjoy myself, and I hope you will too. Because I think a lot of us have a hard time getting into a fitness routine, and I think that's the hardest thing. I think people that have found a fitness routine they enjoy, so much easier. They just keep doing it. So it's the whole getting into it and shaking it up. Sometimes you can get bored as well. And we call it fun fall fitness, even though we're not fully blown in fall yet. It's time to start planning. And why not? And it's also a time where the temperatures are hopefully getting a little cooler. Not yet, but soon. So we can shake it up a little bit.
We had a brutal summer.
Yeah, it's been and all over, it seems like, except for Sweden, where it was cold when I was there. But that's okay. So yes, I'm gonna jump straight in because I think exercise and movement is such a vital part of life.
Yes.
That it's not optional. It's
not negotiable.
It's not negotiable. Yeah. So I have like 5 non-negotiable principles, and then I'll give you some specific fitness exercises to, not the exercise, but kind of fitness ideas to do. But the 5 first principles of fitness that I think we all should adhere to is the number 1, just walk. Just walk. Because your legs were made for walking. Your boots were made for walking, but so were your legs. Of course, if you can walk. But I think we underestimate the power of walking. And it's actually, if you're like me, go down rabbit holes with health and wellness podcasts, you hear more and more about the power of walking. I know the Today Show has a whole walking segment too. But it really don't underestimate daily walking, or as many times a week as you can. And first, it's a great fat burner because it is a low intensity workout, so it's easier to burn fat. Personally, I recommend always doing it not always, but if you can do it in a fasted state in the morning before you eat, it's even more.
I love it.
You get a little deeper in, because then you're already in a fasted state, so you're already in a deeper fat burning state. So you can have a cup of coffee, but then just take a walk. And it's really, these days, you don't have to have an iPhone watch or one of those watches to count your steps. Your regular phone, if you carry it with you in your pocket or something out walking, will approximately give you a fairly good number of how many steps you take. So I really do think there's a power in counting the steps.
Okay.
And making sure you set yourself a minimum. And it doesn't have to be maybe a daily minimum. If you know that some days are just not going to happen, then set a weekly minimum.
So what's
So usually people that really want to walk a lot have a daily goal of 10,000 steps, which is a lot. So if you're not walking at all right now, then start a little lower.
Okay.
But maybe you should have a weekly goal. Start with like 50,000 steps a week, something like that. Around there. And of course, if you run, you're going to get more steps in. But I think for now, let's just talk about walking, because it is an exercise that most people that have legs that work, feet that work, can do. Pace-wise, do you need to be power walking? No, but you need to do it at a pace to where you can still have a conversation, but you're elevating, of course, your heart rate.
Yeah.
So you should be able to do it for a long time, but it definitely should feel at the end of it like it's you've done something.
Yeah.
And I love to listen to podcasts. So maybe you're out now walking, which would be perfect. Or books, or you can listen to YouTube channels. You can't see them when you walk, because then you might fall down a pothole. But it's a great time to just kind of listen to things you enjoy. Music, of course, but I think sometimes I need music if I'm going to run, and I need a tempo sometimes, just to motivate. But I think walking is such a great time to just learn new things. So learning and exercising at the same time, plus walking outside. We've talked about the importance of being in nature, walking in the morning, and at night really kind of sets the circadian rhythm in your body, which makes you sleep better. And it can be beautiful, and you can, breathe fresh air. But even if you're in a larger city and maybe not breathing fresh air, walking around, kind of getting sunlight is a great cardiovascular activity or workout. And I think, this is one of my maybe pet peeves, but it's when people at the gym circling the parking lot for the closest parking spot. It's like, you're going to the gym, park in the back. Now you get an extra workout. So why don't you just, in order, if you have a hard time getting your steps in, just park further away at the grocery store. Anywhere you're going, find the parking spot the furthest away. And you will get extra steps in without, much effort. Take your dog for a little longer walk. Maybe both the dog and you will benefit.
Yeah.
We need to walk our dog pretty. Now when it's hot, we need shorter walks. But we started walking her longer in the evening when it's a little cooler, because otherwise she would look like a big blob. She likes to eat, our little Frenchie. But yes, so walking definitely is great for both your physical health, but also mental health. So that's my first principle. Just walk. Number 2, super important as well. You have to resistant train, meaning you have to work your muscles, some kind of resistant training for your muscles. It can be weights, it could be band. I've shown this before. I love the bands. That's a resistant training too. But you need to work the muscles more than just walking or swimming or something like that. You need to load weight onto your muscles in order for them to work and not disintegrate.
Especially if you're female.
Absolutely. As women, we think, I don't want to get bulky. Please. It's going to take a long time and some steroids for most of us to get bulky. We don't bulk that easily as women. So that's the worst excuse ever. I'm going to get bulky. No, you're not. Unless you're a bodybuilder or
taking some extra stuff.
Yes.
Even men.
Powerlifter.
They have, in order to get bulky.
Yes.
Some of them take stuff because it's not.
Yes. But this resistant training is so important as we age. When our muscles, we have a much harder time building muscle mass as women as we age, going through perimenopause and menopause. That's just the way it is. So we need to work harder at it to resist the sarcopenia, which is called, because the more muscles we have, the more we protect our bones, which also can get brittle as we age. Yeah. And I will say, you've heard me talk about my mom's autoimmune, which is a myositis, which means her muscles are getting attacked by herself. So her muscles are getting more and more disintegrated. And we actually started doing FaceTime workouts with her, weight training. And because she's in pain, she needs to work out. But we start with just cans, food cans, and water bottles. Yeah. You don't have to have dumbbells, specific kettlebells or dumbbells. Or if you can, buy resistant bands. She has some resistant bands too. That's easy to work, and you can do it according to your own. That's so important. Yeah. And then, of course, if you love lifting, like I do, Body Pump is a great class. It's a weightlifting class that you do pre. That's what I teach. But it really, then you don't have to count the reps, because you're gonna, something about that group setting, which I'll talk more about. But getting load-bearing muscle weight into your fitness routine is not just once a week. You need to do it at least twice a week. It's actually more important for us than cardiovascular workout in many ways. And I think for us women, we think that the only way we can lose weight is doing a bunch of cardio, running or Zumba or whatever it is. It's not. You will burn more fat the more muscle mass you have. So even in a resting state, you burn more fat with more muscle mass. So if you really want to burn fat and lose weight, you got to do a lot of weight training. So walking and weight training are great complements to each other. So you don't have to run marathons or think that you need to run 3 miles every day. No. Okay. Was I clear on that point, you think?
I think so.
Yes. Okay, so any type of load bearing group or at home. But I think one of the best ways to really make sure you work out is to join a class. Yes, I
miss
slightly partial in this, being a group fitness instructor. But there is something, and I think, joining any type of gym, whatever it is, where you have a class that starts at a certain time and ends at a certain time, you'll make sure you get there.
Yes.
And when you get it into your weekly schedule, it really is so much easier. You know that hour or whatever time it is will be booked because you have a fitness class. And also, it's a great accountability tool because you might get to know, it's great social. I know my class, it's like a little cocktail hour before we start. But it's great because then people will be like, oh, we haven't seen you in a while. And you don't want that person, right? That hasn't been there in a while.
Unless you've been in Sweden for a month.
Yeah, that's true. So it's great for accountability. And in the difference between that and doing workout on your own, well, if you have, you're very disciplined, you might do the number of reps you need.
Yeah.
But it's a lot easier to go in the gym and go, I'm done. I think I'm done now. When you're in a group fitness class, you work until someone tells you to stop.
Someone's always watching too, so you do not want to stop.
But I will say though, don't let it scare you because people are too preoccupied looking at themselves or worrying about themselves than looking at other people. Me as an instructor, yes, I look at form and will point that out so that no one gets injured.
Yeah.
But don't worry about what other people think because that's exactly what they're wondering too. So everyone is too preoccupied thinking about themselves.
I love it.
Yeah. So find a group fitness class. Now, of course, a personal trainer is also a great idea. It's a little pricier, so it depends on, but if you need that accountability and that way to kickstart, yes, sign up for something that will make you go there. And don't just sign up for the gym. You got to actually go there too. All right, so we touched on this. My fourth principle is create a weekly workout schedule. Just like you book every other meeting, or you know that you have lunch or coffee with friends on this and that day, when you found your fitness routine and what you enjoy, maybe it's the classes you enjoy, you make a schedule and you say, Monday nights, I go do this. Tuesdays might be my day off, or I just take a walk. Or not just a walk, I go for a walk. And whatever day of the week. But when you have that set schedule, you are much more likely to actually do it, to follow through. And my fifth principle is get outside.
Let's go.
Just like I talked about when the walking piece, of course, when it's the heat of summer, but now for fall, when it cools down, try to do as many of your workouts outside as you can. Of course, a group fitness class at a gym won't be outside, but if you're going to do any of the hacks that I have, try to do them outside. It really is
makes a big difference.
Makes a huge difference for your mental well-being as well as your physical. Okay. Did you like my principles?
Top 5.
So those things apply for everything. But now I'm going to give you some fun workout ideas that you might not have thought about. Maybe you have, but maybe something you can try. something new. Okay.
Right.
This one we started doing during the pandemic. It's an outdoor circuit workout. So, when you might go to classes that have circuit training where you move from one station to the other, you can make your own. We made one out on the patio during the pandemic. We had the whole family go
We
from
did that
station to
with the
station.
children.
So you could do one station is bicep, and you do with weights or with bands, bicep. The next one might be lunges. And then you might have a cardio in between where you do jumping jacks or run in place or jump rope. But to make little stations, and then you just play music and time yourself. You could do a minute at each station, and then you can do 30 seconds rest and move on to the next
They
station.
love that.
But that really is a great, I love doing little circuits like that myself. And then you get to work on the things that you really feel you need to work on. So if maybe today I want to do more cardio or more abs, then I'll do 2 ab station maybe. And my next fitness hack idea or fall fitness hack is HIIT training. So HIIT, high intensity interval training. So a little bit like a circuit, but when you actually work out, you do it at a very intense pace. So you can do this in many different ways. I love it. And so the ideas about HIIT training, it really is, I've listened to a lot of this lately, but it is super efficient because a HIIT workout can be 25, 30 minutes, sometimes even shorter, because you're working intense for certain few minutes, and then you need to have a rest time in between. But it's great for cardiovascular fitness, burning calories, and building muscle too, if you do some resistant work. But it is, again, it's time efficient. So if you're quenched for time and you're like, I only have 30 minutes, do some HIIT. And one way that I do it is I do it with running.
That's what I do.
So I do it from, if I know I only have 20 minutes to run, I like to run like 5-7 miles. That takes way more than 20 minutes. But if I know I only have a short time, so I do HIIT running. So I do it from mailbox. I set like 2 mailboxes is my sprint, and then I walk for 1 or 2 mailboxes, and then I run again for 2 mailboxes and walk. So every other, you need that recovery. Otherwise, your high intensity won't be at its highest. So, and you can do it with, again, jump rope. You can do it with biking. You can do super hard biking for a certain amount of time, and then your high intensity shouldn't be too long. It shouldn't be more than 30-40 seconds.
Okay.
And then you have another 30 seconds of rest. So you could do it with swimming. You could do it with, there's so many different cardiovascular exercises you can do. You can do HIIT resistant training too. I don't recommend that as much. Then I would recommend circuit training more, where you do number of reps or a certain, because it can get a little too intense and it's easy for injuries.
You don't want to get hurt with
Yeah.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah. But when you do HIIT workout, when you really take your body to exhaustion almost at those intervals, you have a much greater afterburn after you work out, which is one of the big benefits with HIIT training too. You improve your insulin sensitivity. So how your blood spikes, glucose spikes, sugar spikes, and how insulin brings them down. You want to avoid too many high spikes. You want to have some spikes you're going to have from food, but you want insulin to kind of balance it out, and HIIT will help with that. So, you could do frog jumps HIITs. You could do burpee HIITs. You could do anything like that, but short, super efficient, and really make sure that when you're in that high intensity, it is high. You're sprinting.
If I can say or share one thing I dislike
Yes.
is burpees.
Okay, then don't do
Whoever
burpees.
invented burpees.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Well,
But they're the ones during a HIIT workout.
And why burpees are great is because you get, it's both strength, because if you do it proper, then you should go down and do a push-up as well. And it's cardiovascular for the jumping
it's
up
like the best
and down.
workout for a good get that for HIIT.
But it is easy to hurt yourself if you don't do it properly. If you go
also,
down too hard.
It's also easy to hate.
Yes. No, so running HIITs are my favorite, but I do like I like jump rope.
I love jump rope. Yes,
I think those are great HIITs as well. Okay, another great where you can do it as a HIIT workout, but you can also do it not maybe as high intensity is staircase workouts. You can do them as intervals, but because going back down will give you, believe it or not though, going downstairs in a staircase still activates your muscles because it's the absorption, when you step down. So you're still getting a workout walking down staircase and not just up, but it's a great kind of recovery. So if you have access to stairs, that's a super easy, great cardiovascular exercise. And the way we actually did it in Sweden now when we were there is where my mom lives. There's this huge, it's up on a little bit of a hill. So there's these really long stairs. And we had that as a workout in the morning. Like we had to run the stairs.
Oh, wow.
So then the way I do it, and if you only have one stair at home, that's perfect. Every other time up, you go double steps once. That will work your glutes and your quads more.
Okay.
And then every other you run every step. That will be more cardiovascular. Huh. So you get your heart racing more when you run every step, and you get your muscles more involved if you take, you skip one and take every other steps, take longer steps. That's a great, super easy, completely free workout.
Love it.
Yep. Then another great fitness, that's something we would love. We should do that more often.
Yes.
Have a dance party. And you know what? Dance parties, you can do high intensity as well. So you could dance really hard, super fast music, 30 seconds, take a break. Dance really hard. Or you just keep dancing for half an hour, and you will get a great workout.
I love dancing. I actually wake up the children with music and dancing. So in the morning, I start moving.
All right.
They're like, Mom. I'm like, come on, let's go, let's dance.
Yeah, so it's pretty self-explanatory. Dancing, whatever music gets you going, as long as it's not too slow. Then it's really not. Defeats the purpose.
What is it? Not a waltz.
Yeah, not a waltz, unless it's a super fast waltz. And then you can do family fitness challenges. Or it could be friendly fitness challenges too. It doesn't have to be the family. It could be among friends. So if you have, I think it's a great idea to have fitness buddies. When you go to group class, you will automatically have fitness buddies. But if you don't, if you want to do it outside or you want to create your own fitness routines, find some fitness buddies that you work out with. Again, it's the accountability of showing up, but it's also fun. It's more social.
Keeps you accountable.
Yes. And you can do little challenges. So you can do circuits with, push-up challenge. So see who can make the most, finish the most push-ups. You can have high knee challenge. How many, who can do the longest high knees? Jumping jacks, planks is a great fitness challenge. Who can hold the longest plank?
Yes.
But that's another kind of circuit idea, but I think it's great. If you are competitive, no. Never,
not I.
No. But yeah, if you have any competitive streak, that's a great fitness routine to do. And since we're getting into fall, there will be a lot of pumpkin patches open soon. hey, if you have no weights, use your pumpkin. Pumpkins, you can use that as a kettlebell.
Yeah.
Kettlebell, not belt, bell. So holding the pumpkin, you can do front races, you could do squats, you could do overheads for shoulder. Pumpkins are pretty heavy. So I recommend just using one. No mini pumpkins here. I'm talking
No,
about
like
the
a
real
nice
thing.
size pumpkin.
So why don't you do a family or friend fitness challenge with pumpkins? And then you can carve them afterwards.
And you can make, what is it, pepitas or pumpkin
Pepitas,
seeds?
yes.
See, you can,
so you get
soup.
fitness, you get fun, and food all in one day. I mean, mic drop.
Yeah, you can't get any better than that.
Yeah.
All three important things.
Yes. And then my last tip is check out YouTube for fitness classes. There are free fitness. I mean, there's a endless source.
Do you have any favorites?
I do have some channels I can link. I will link in the show notes. I found some female trainers that I really like their workouts online. There's some great male too, don't get me wrong, but these ones, especially they use the resistant bands quite a bit. They do all of it, but it really I really enjoy their classes. And they're from all over the world, so you really it's a fun. Great source of. And then when you travel again, and you don't have your regular fitness class, maybe it's a great way to try new things and to have no excuses, because that's what it's all about, right?
I love it. And then the bands that you have, did you get them?
I got these. This is a Swedish brand, but you can find them on Amazon. We'll put some links in there too for Amazon,
just in case they're wondering.
Yeah. I'll put links for bands and some of the YouTube workouts that I enjoy. Maybe I'll make my own workouts.
That would be great.
If you guys think that's a good idea, maybe I will. Comment below or in the Facebook group.
I think that's a yes. Yeah, I love it.
So yeah, those were some of my fun fitness ideas. Fun fall fitness ideas. What did you think? Did you get some new?
I did. I got some new ideas. But interesting enough, I haven't been able to go to the gym as much because Victor's schedule for the summer has been crazy. So I've had to do this. But it's funny how that people that haven't seen me at the gym, they saw me recently. They're like, "You haven't gained weight." I'm like, just because I'm at the gym, you know.
Yeah,
I eat
keep
really
active.
well, but I stayed
keep active.
Pretty, and then I love the between the boxes.
Yeah.
That's like
but I do think
thing.
I mean I'm obviously, since I work at a gym, I love gym and workout classes, but I mix it up. So I do teach my classes twice a week. Sometimes I take someone else's class that's different than mine.
And the gym.
But then I do at least 2 workouts a week that I do around the house, or hit running or something like that I kind of come up with my own.
I love lifting weights. I mean, I did CrossFit, or not CrossFit. What is it? They call it something else. Strength and conditioning.
Okay.
And it was very heavy. I mean, I did my PR before the summer was I squatted my weight.
Oh.
And that was exciting.
That's
because that was something that I took.
And we shouldn't be, when you do weight training, if you've never weight trained before, I think starting with resistant bands, the bands are great for that. Yes. Or like with my mom now, if you're a little bit in pain or incapacitated, start low, start with stuff around the house.
Yes.
Milk.
Definitely don't do that. But that was a goal of mine that I worked on probably a good 6 months.
But if you want to really make sure you build muscle mass, and when you get into training, you should work out your muscles to where you're 1 or 2 repetitions of complete failure.
Yes.
So it's not like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, on to the next. No, you should be making faces. You should be really
grunting.
Struggling at number 10, 11, 12. Otherwise, it's not heavy enough, or you need to go to 25.
Yeah.
So
always challenge
if you're
yourself.
not fatigued, the muscle is not fatigued, you have not worked it enough. That's not the worry. Yes. All right. That's what we had this week.
I love it. Well, thank you for sharing. I mean, I know you love fitness, and I love working out. I just had to improvise this summer, so I do miss it. But I'm taking your class.
You can always improvise.
Yes.
Yeah, we should. I'm going to put a link to Vera Fitness too. If you're interested in trying out my class, I will. You in my Facebook group, I'll have some free passes.
Ooh. Yeah. Free fun fall
fitness. Wow.
That is a fabulous idea. Oh, this is fun. Like always.
Yeah.
Well,
all right.
Stay tuned for our next episode.
And until next time, cheers. No excuses.